Okay, so if you're following, welcome back. I tried to change some settings and it seems to be better now. So we'll stay with this at the moment and then I'll see what I can do. I don't have the strongest PC, so that might be some thing that does not help, of course, but yeah, I will try my best to fix it in future or be more consistent at least with um, with the stream quality. So yeah, we have some great riders at the start today, and um, some nice sprinters too to fight for the stage win of his first stage in the Giro di Sicilia. So let's see what we can do and start off this with the stage. And we already have an attack of Romeo with Stransky behind him. Also, yeah, that's my team, so no problem. So the two will probably make the break for today. And we also have the first cobbled section of the stage. I think we have three on here, the second one here, but only uh, one star, so nothing too hard. Maybe only two cobbled sections, so nothing really hard, but maybe enough to shake the peloton a bit. The gap is almost 7 minutes at the moment. Peloton has Uno X, Euro Cometa, Israel, Shimano, and Bingo working. Also, Tudor maybe. Yes, Tudor is also working at the front of the peloton. Almost 8 minutes for the break, but the gap is going down again, so peloton will start chasing them down now. We have only one categorized climb, the Ragusa climb, with 5, 3, 2, and 1 points to earn at the top. And we are so slowly climbing towards that. This is a really short sector of 1 star. And then Swift at the head of the peloton, but nothing really happens on the bubbles. So we're starting the final climb towards Ragusa, 5 kilometers left. And here we have a longer cobble section of 2 stars. So maybe in peloton we will see some gaps, although it is quite small and bendy, so maybe the gaps will only be at the top. And Stransky attacks first for the mountain sprint, but Romeo is stronger, so it seems, so he will take the mountain points in front of Stransky. Also in the peloton, the pace is not that high, so everyone stays together. So we will probably go for a mass sprint at the finish line. Michael Vink and G Sagif take the last 2 points at the first mountain, the first classified line. The gap is slowly coming down to the breakaway riders. only 2 minutes and a half for the Great Riders, but 40 kilometers to go. We are coming to the intermediate sprints, but 5, 3, 2, and 1 points also to gain. And Romeo will start sprinting first, and he easily beats Transky. In the peloton, we have Soto, who will take the points in front of Kolnagi. Still, same guys working at the front. But now, Tudor with a high presence. Love to see that. Um, also, Bingo is here, while some teams are a bit further behind. So now the trains are coming together for the mass sprints. The break will be called soon. It's really big bunch going towards the finish line. Everyone is together 10 kilometers left. We have here at the front Liegen in the wheel of Maestri, Kluge in the wheel of Moldano, Vos bringing Gumestad, Fine in the wheel of Grede, Toon Aerts in the wheel of Oscar Sevilla. We have Parisini, Kamp, Colnaghi, Lafay and Fogmodo also present at the front. Here we have at 5 kilometers left a train of Tudor, with next to that Robert in the wheel of his teammates at Bingo. Now Lotto is coming with Cedric Beulens. Only 1.6 kilometers left, and now the sprint starts. It's really twisty. Apers is really strong in the sprint. Does anyone come around? It doesn't seem like it, so it will be Ruben Apers who takes the first stage in front of Cedric Beulens and Alexander Kam. Brad making it 1 and 4 for Bingo and Unix 5 and 6 with Groenstad and Vos. Everyone finished together, so no out of time limits and no DNFs. Apples take the first stage and also the overall standings, of course. So everyone finished. So yep, we can go on to the second stage, which is a bit, and we can't see the second stage. Now we can see the second stage, a bit hillier in the middle, but also a sprint at the end, probably. Okay, we are at the start of the second stage. Today we are going towards Mondalo, and Stransky already attacks. He wants to go for the mountain points. And we have some riders trying to follow him, but maybe that's too much riders trying to follow him. So let's see who gets at the front with him. ATT Investments really wanting to get towards the front because they have three riders at the moment in the break. But Petrush and Madrazo are trying to catch Stransky. And Robert also trying to attack, but he is maybe one of the favorites of the day if he gets over the hills, of course. But Tivani, Lemon, and Robert will probably also make it toward the front group. And that makes six riders in the breakaway, and three of those are from no, two of those are from ATT Investments. Ivani is from another. Let me see. Ivani is from Goratek. If Lemon, Madrazo from Burgos, Bingo with Robert, and Lemon is from Saint Piran. Today's finish is probably a bit more straight than yesterday's, so let's see who wins this time. 3 minutes for the breakaway, and we have a crash. Yep, Del Boven, Abreha, Aparicio, and Boven, but they are all back on their bike, so they will continue to race. 4 minutes for the breakaway, but they don't really get more time from the peloton. Also, it's only Unix and Shimano riding at the moment, controlling the breakaway. Almost 5 minutes for the break, with a little more than 100 kilometers to go, and we will start the main climb of the day, Portela della Finestra, 10 kilometers at 4.8%, with 5 points at top for the first rider. This is the main heavy part. So if anyone wants to tire the sprinters a bit, it's now that they have to ride, of course. Um, for the first mountain sprint, it is Stevani who will start. Maybe Robert gets fast, but no, it's Stevani in front of Robert and Madrazo. Lemon is fourth. Artemon, Mazzoni and Jaime fell. Maybe he can still catch up to the peloton. But I think the tempo in the peloton has picked up a bit because they want to catch the breakaway, of course. We still had 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And another crash. Van der Paar, Pelisson, and Lucas Eriksson. But they all got back and all got going again. Now, attacks. Floris de Tier, Hinau, Sebastian Hinau are attacking, trying something maybe, but no, they are caught up again uh, already by the peloton. So no real danger with that attack. The break rate now only has 3 minutes, while in the peloton it starts to break in the downhill section. But yeah, it will all come together again. 3 minutes left for the breakaway at 44 kilometers to go. And now The teams in the peloton are riding hard to catch the breakaway. Now it's almost flat with some small hills, but given that everyone is still in the peloton, it should be again a sprint. We're coming to the second mountain sprint at the moment of the day, of course. Also 5 points to win at the top. Will be attacking first, and one gets past him. It doesn't seem like it, so Robert takes 5 points. Tivani 3, Madrazo 2, and Petrus 1. Also, Stransky is empty. While in the peloton, they are still chasing. The break still has 1.5 minutes with 18 kilometers to go, so they might start believing in their chances today. Peloton is stretched a bit after the climb, and there are some gaps. For example, Ruben Apers, who won yesterday, and he is at the back at the moment, trying to get back to the first group in the peloton. Also, farther down there are more gaps. With Burgos may missing the race a bit. Maybe they can get back to the peloton. Alver is a favorite for the stage, maybe. Kluge also could have done something in the sprints. So they're trying to catch up to maybe give their leader some chance of winning still today. But it won't be easy. Vink and Fernandez are at the back. Tracy and Gomez also. With 10 kilometers to go, the break still has 45 seconds. They will probably be caught unless they can pull out something really strong on the rest of the stage. And then this group will have trouble getting back. So I don't know if there are any major favorites for the climbing for the general classification. I don't think so. But they will lose some time today. Final uphill stretch. Peloton is really chasing the breakaway, trying to catch them before the line. We have Kumestad here, well brought at the front. Swift trying to get the gap, close the gap, and at 2 kilometers to go, the break is caught. And now we have sprinters like Toon Aerts and Strong and Covey starts with the sprints first, but Strong and Kamp are next him. And it will be Corbin Strong who takes the victory in front of Kamp and Covey. Toon Aerts will be fourth, and Hansen, Marcus-Sander Hansen just fifth. Unique with the second day in a row, 5 and 6, sixth place. Ruben Apers, who won yesterday, only 10th today. We have Cedric Burens, Sugaib, and Guzi, who are also at the back, together with Thompson and Ballerin, who are also losing some time today. And then this group really who lost really some time today. So let's see the podium. Everyone in the same time. Corbin Strong taking the victory. Alexander Kamp takes the overall standings in the same time as Apers and Strong, with bonus seconds, of course. Covey, Matrazzo, Romeo, and the rest also with bonus seconds with closure. Robert and Tivani are equal in first in the mount classification. Romeo is in third. In the point classification, Alexander Kamp leads point classification in front of Apers and Corbin Strong. And then in the young classification, Ruben Apers and Kogo Strong are in the same time, in front of Kovi and Romeo. And in the team classification, everyone is still in the same time because less sprints. So let's go on to the third stage. I think everyone finished today as well. Yep, no DNFs yet. And small uphill finish in Caronia for the third stage. Favorites of the day are Quintana, Lafay, Formulo, Vivo, Rojas, Vos, Tejada, Kovi, Bouchard, and Stevie Williams. So we are at the start of stage 3 of Giro de Sicilia. Let's see who takes the win today. It's quite a hilly parcours, but the Polina climb, 11 kilometers at 5.8%, but it's maybe a bit too far from the finish for attacks already. So it will probably be a small group fighting it out at the final hill. But first, let's see who gets in the breakaway. It's Lemon who tries first, Kobo and Robert following him. Robert obviously trying to defend his mountain classification. We also have Fellini, Petrush, and Guerin that want to join, but that's a bit too much for the peloton, so they are all caught except for Lemon, who is still at the front. Robert and Petrush now trying it a second time. Also, Quartucci is trying to get in the break. That's again too many riders, so the peloton is chasing them. The peloton is mostly Tudor riding for their leader. Come. But we have 4 riders at the moment that are chasing Lemon. Then they are Fellini, Boven, Vliegen, and Petrush. While there's a crash with Tisa Gomez, Czernecki, and Golnagi, and Tito Brad, and he will have to abandon for today. So we have 5 riders at the front after a tiring start, and we have Koffies and Tudor riding in the back. Another crash by Ki Sahif, but he managed to get on again and ride forward in this race. Kluwer with a flat tire and some riders from his team waiting for him. And they are trying to get back to the peloton, but it doesn't look that easy. They are still a bit back. Maybe will catch up at the top of this climb. Yes, they caught up again. Another crash. Yep, Alino, but he's also back on the bike. So we have these five riders. They don't get much of a gap on the front and from the peloton. We have another crash from Rizio and then a bigger crash, but most of the riders, Lafayette and Kovi, are back already in the peloton. No problems for them. But that does mean that the break gets more freedom. Oh, a little other crashes. Johannesson crashed and also DNF for him. So he'll DNF. We also have Toon Aerts, Dirk Quintana waiting for him. Thompson also crashed. And there's another one, not done yet. It's rainy, so there are a lot of crashes, but they all get back in the peloton at the moment. 2 minutes 30 for the breakaway, and they will come towards the first categories climb of the day. 5 points to earn at the top. Tuba, Tuba Kershing, Oscar Sevilla also all get back. In the break, we have Vliegen who is trying to take the mount points, and he will do that successfully in front of Feline, Pitrush, and Lemon. So Loic Vliegen at 5 points. On the first category climb, there are 20 points to earn, so person that gets there first will probably take the mountain jersey for today. Tisa crashed, but gets back on her bike. It stopped training, so it should be a little less crashes now. 4 minutes for the breakaway at the moment. And big crash. This is a big crash. We have Sanchez, Adria, Christian Delbove, and Palmer who crashed. I think I saw the name Quintana in there, but he might be already back in the peloton. Yeah, he's just a bit further back in the peloton. Kluge crashed. They are still trying to get back towards the front, but that probably won't happen. And another crash with Bais, Guerin, Lopez, all at the back at the moment. It's raining again, so more crashes. Moldano, Tucci, and Colnahi crashed, but still no big favorites for the stage, I think, or for the GC that are at the back. So there's just helpers or lesser riders that crashed. We are starting the Polina climb. The break still has 3 minutes at the foot of this climb. Some riders are starting to get dropped at the back of the peloton. Tempo is still really high in this peloton. Most leaders seem to be at the front at the moment. More riders dropping at the back. We have an attack at the front. Feline, who took the mountain points in front of Vliegen. Boven will probably come third, Lemon fourth, Pitrush fifth, and then in the peloton, Vink takes rest. So Fellini moves up into first in the mountain classification with 23 points, Vliegen second with 19, Boven third with 10 points. Peloton is down to 85 riders, but no real leaders that are on the ground at the moment or that are at the back. They are still crashing, but Ruben Alberts, who is second in the overall standings, is now has crashed and is a bit further behind. Peloton really stretched out in the downhill. And there are some gaps appearing. 29 riders at the moment that are alone, with the rest trying to catch up. Kato crashed, but he was already at the back. And he can continue, so no big problem. We have Fellini and Vliegen at the front, with Oven and Lemon following, and then at 2.5 minutes, the peloton and Kleinens will DNF. This stage where with a lot of crashes. So Tuarho is now behind. Toen Aert also. A lot of Lotto riders are still trying to get back, and also this group is still not with the peloton. Maybe they can get back, but they will have to try their best because it won't be easy. As in the peloton, there's still a high tempo for multiple teams. 23 riders with still most leaders, I think. We have now here. But no one important, I think, that is not in the first group. So most leaders or favorites for the overall classification are still in the first group. Still, Fellini and Vliegen have some gap over the peloton, 10 kilometers left, 1.5 minutes lead. Kamp himself riding, trying to catch the breakaway. Only 19 kilometers left, riders left in the break. Boven and Lemon are empty, so they are dropped. Will one of those two take the stage, or will some attack come from behind and still take it? No, the two last breakaway riders are caught. While Kamp is attacking at the front. He just must feel really strong today because as leader attacking, who can follow him? 1.2 kilometers left. We have Nairo Quintana, Covey, Clark, Rojas, who is coming from behind now. Catching up with Kamp. Rojas, will he get past? Or is it Formolo? Looks strong. Formolo will take the stage in front of Remy Rocas and Alexander Kamp. Clark is fourth, Covey fifth, Quintana sixth, and Martin seventh. Lutruba might lose some time together with Pozzovivo, Vos, Kovili, and Lafay, Van Hoeken also, and then the rest of Van Eetveld, Devenins, Tejada, Vliegen, Feline, Stephen Williams will lose minutes today. Coben Strong here now. Eriksson Bouchard will also lose quite some time today. He was maybe one of the favorites for the overall classification. But Formolo brings Shimano another victory. Really strong season from the Italian rider already, and he adds another victory to his palmarès. Formolo takes the stage, and then from place 8, so Cosvivo and Vos and Truba will lose 15 seconds on the first 7 riders. In the overall standings, Kamp leads with 4 seconds over Formolo and 8 over Rojas. And then the first 7 are still within 14 seconds, and then the rest on 29 seconds. The mount classification Fellini leads in front of Vliegen, Boven, Bartlein, and Tivani. And the points classification Kamp in front of Kovi and Apers. Strong falls back to fourth. Kovi leads the young riders classification in front of Kotruba, and then Van Eetveld already on a minute and a half. So it's between those two. And then in the team classification, Joel Permetek leads with 1 minute and 45 seconds in front of Kofidis. So we have 3 DNFs today. Anders Haaland, Johannes and Vito Braat and doing claimants. So we are ready for the final stage of the Giro di Sicilia, a mountain stage with 2 first category climbs and some cobbles again. Arrive in Mascali. The big favorites of today are Alessandro Covi, Victor Lafay, Davide Formolo, Quintana, Ben Swift, Stephen Williams, Tobias Vos, Domenico Pozzovivo, Tejada, and Sam Clark. So Shimano with big chances of winning and probably taking the overall standings on the last day. And we are already at the start. Another rainy day, it seems like, in Sicily for the final day. So the mountain classification can still change a lot, and also the overall classification, because Camp only has 66 mountains, so he will probably suffer a bit to keep his leader jersey today. We have Valerio Conti, who attacks first, trying to go in the breakaway and try to take the mountain jersey, of course. Tercero and Guirin trying to follow, along with Petrush and Robets. A lot of riders trying to get in the break. too much, it seems like. There are at the moment 9 riders in the break and more trying to attack. It's of course Tudor trying to bring that gap down to avoid too big of a breakaway. But still, lots of attacks in the peloton, lots of riders who are a bit further behind in the standings and trying to win something today. But it will probably stay with 9 riders. Yes, it will stay with 9 riders in the breakaway of today. We have Robert, who is sixth in the mount classification, Madrazo, who has 4 points, Tercero, who has 0, Zogarato, Guérin, Carboni, Engelhard, Conti, and Petrucci. The big names are, of course, Conti, Engelhard, and Carboni also, or Robert also, but he's not really a climber, so he will probably not make it to the finish with his co-breakaway riders. Yes, Tudor once again riding. And we have our first crash of the stage, Otuba, but he is already back in the peloton. To check is second in the young riders classification. Let's see if he can hold that today. And another crash or a flat tire by Rojas and a crash by Jaime, but they all get back on their bikes, so no abandons today yet. We have some climbing and some downhilling to do, so there might still be crashes. 3 minutes for the breakaway, and still only Tudor trying to control the gap. At the back, we have a crash with Lemon, who tried to go in the breakaway earlier today, but no one that's really dangerous for the overall classification. 5 minutes at the moment for the breakaway. We have our first cobalt sector, and Pitwish is already blocked. Maybe the break can go all out to the finish today because there's also already 6 minutes. So question is who will try and close that gap. Also, Madrazo is now empty. Robert is the next one, and Guérin seems to be waiting for him. I don't know why. We have flat tire for Hinao, but he's already lost in time. Guérin really waiting for Robert, while Tercero trying to go for the sprint. Conti coming around, but it will be Engelhard who takes the points at the top of the Portala Mandrazzi. Gregory already empty now, while in the peloton it's now Koffinis putting a hard pace, and then we can see the first riders already dropping at the back. Now it's a really small downhill, and that means that the peloton will split again. Only 21 riders in this first group. The gap is closed again. And we have a crash, I think. Yep. Vliegen, Moldano, Pevi, and Weiss. But I think most of them are already back in the peloton, so no real problems there. Lots of riders still trying to get back towards the front of the race. Five riders together again in the front of the group, while Liverpool crashes another time. He already crashed a lot this tour, and the gap's still growing. The best placed rider at the front is Tercero at 3 minutes 18. And at the moment he has 5 minutes and a half in front of the peloton. So if he can hold that on, he is looking good for the stage and maybe the overall today. In the peloton, once again, some breaks, but everything looks like it might regroup, although the gap is quite big. But it's all back together. We have Pinalver who crashed, trying to get back. We also have Guérin trying to work for a bit, but he probably won't make it. We have another crash, but everyone is back on his bike. Going to the intermediate sprints, but no sprinting today. Engelhard takes it. 4 minutes for the break is still left with one major climb to go. The Skor-Kiavaka. Let's see if we have attacks in the peloton. And now from the front of the foot of the climb, we have Lafay trying to put a high tempo to isolate some leaders probably. And seems to be working. A lot of riders are struggling to follow the tempo. And the gap with the brake is slowly decreasing. More and more riders are now at Kreder, pushing hard with Corbin Strong. And we have an attack of Tobias Vos. Tobias Vos attacks, and who can follow at the moment? Nobody seems to want to follow. Pegada also pushing hard now. Only 2.5 kilometers left on this climb. Break only has 40 seconds in front of the peloton. That has 15 riders left, while at the front, Valerio Conti tries to attack, and at the back, Simon Clark attacks. Who is at the back here? Van Eetveld, Vliegen, Van Hoeken, Feline, losing some time. Devenens will lose a lot of time. Mertens probably too, but most of the top 10 seems to be still in the front. Now it's Valerio Conti leading to last two riders of the break, and Clark, who is at 14 seconds, who might take some time back today. He's looking good. Conti now alone in the downhill. And in the peloton, 17 riders still together. And now Lafitte trying to close the gap on Conti and Clark. Clark pretty good in downhill, so we might still get some more seconds. question is, will it be enough to take the stage and maybe the mountain jersey? And we have a big crash. Alexander Kamp crashed together with Quintana. But Nairo Quintana seems to not have lost that much time. Kamp did lose a lot of time. So only 12 people left in the peloton. And now Clark chasing down Valerio Conti with Engelhard in his wheel. Lafayette trying to close the gap down on Clark. Vivo attacking and Vos, Formolo and Rojas following. Now Formolo attacks, Rojas follows. And we are getting to the sprints. Clark launches first. Rojas tries to catch up. Will he do it? No, Clark runs the stage in front of Conti, Rojas, Formolo fourth, Vivo fifth, Vos sixth, and then the rest of the peloton a bit further down. Dana will lose a lot of time today, probably a minute and 20 seconds, and Kamp even more. He will lose 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's take a look at the podium. Simon Clark wins the stage, and Davide Formolo wins the overall standings in front of Rojas and Simon Clark in the same time. Vos, Vivo, Kovi, and Lafay round out the top 7, and Quintana, Martin, and Kovi a bit further back in the top 10. Engelhard takes the mount classification in front of Conti and Fellini. Kamp takes the points classification in front of Formolo and Clark. Kovi takes the young classification in front of Tercero and Colin Strong. And Israel takes the team classification with only Cofidis coming close, the rest miles back. Quite of a bad luck for Kamp, holding on to the top and then crashing in downhill. Probably costing his top 10 in the overall standings. So thank you, game. I don't think we had any OTLs or DNFs today, so we can round out this this tour with no DNFs. Only stage 3 was really hard on the crashes. So yeah, that will be it for today. I will probably do Paris-Camembert tomorrow at 10, probably 10 o'clock Central European time. See you tomorrow.